This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
I mentioned earlier the idea of people listening to you for years. They have maybe they're a little gun shy. Is that the expression? You know, as far as just pulling the trigger and getting to work, calling you up. They know they need to do it, but they're thinking to themselves, oh, you know, I probably should get these things in order first, or yeah, I need to Google these questions first. I don't want to come in with those. I don't want to have I should know this stuff. I feel dumb.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they are like business people, teachers, nurses, doctors. They have raised families. They have, paid off student loans. Like, you are smart. You're doing great. Yes. You're not expected to have a whole nother side hustle, a whole nother extra career of being a financial expert. Like, give yourself some credit.
I know. It's like we've talked about before. The two things that we are just scared to talk about to people is our health and our wealth,
But also safe space. Like, sometimes when it comes to money, even the people you love the most, family, you don't want to get too into the weeds about financial circumstances because it's a very sticky situation for many folks. So safe space with Brandon at Bowen Wealth. This is a judgment-free zone. When you come into the office, sitting at the table, being vulnerable is the most important thing, I think, when somebody comes to you, Brandon. It's like, let's put it all on the table. Let's put all of you saved. Let's put your debt. Let's put your desires, your hopes, your dreams, what you want for the years ahead. Let's put it all out there so that we can bring it together into a plan to do our best to make sure that you get those things that you want. So thinking about a first appointment, what should they come prepared with for that first appointment and conversation with you?
Yeah, it's almost like a doctor. You go to a doctor, right, for a checkup. It's only going to be as good as you tell them, right, what's going on.
If you're being honest.
If you go, if you go, okay, doc, what do you got? It's like, you'll be like, well, what do you mean? What do I got?
You tell me. What brings you in?
What do you have going on? Why are you in here? And that really is my first question when I come in. Well, first I say, hey, how's the coffee? How's the chocolate chip cookies? Make sure you're good and pleasantries. But then I'll quickly go. I'll say, well, like, what brings you in, right? And what I want to hear is, you to be completely honest with me, right? Because that help. I can then provide the best service to you. When you say, well, gosh, we're concerned about, like probably everybody, running out of money, right? I mean, we've saved what we've saved. I wish I started sooner. I wish I whatever. And I had these a lot of times we'll hear different stories of I had certain stocks when they were back at this price and then I sold them and all this, regret kind of stuff, whatever. But people say I've saved what I've saved here, but I was not born yesterday and I've seen market crashes in the past and I'm concerned about either a market crash or running out of money. That's really what brings most everybody in here. Okay. And they're like, okay, I need a plan. I've heard you talk about a customized retirement playbook or an income plan or a 401k X-ray. I've got a 401k here. How do I, should I roll that money out now that I'm past 59 and a half? Should I leave it in my workplace plan, or are there better options? I just want to get a second opinion. I want to make sure I'm doing the best that I can be doing. Right. I'm a steward here for my family, right? You, sir, if you're listening, or ma'am, if you handle the finances, you probably feel like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders and you've done a lot of really good things. I find that almost every time. There's so many great things that you have done and you're planning and you're saving and things that you've done. But there's also a few things that you didn't know that you didn't know. Right. That's where I come in. Yeah. And so helping you see these blind spots, these cracks in the plan that could potentially become an issue, right? That's what we've got to talk about. Okay. And maybe you don't know of everything that's available in the financial universe now, because things have just grown and changed. Even if you were well-versed a while back, kind of stuff, right? So that's when we come in, we start off with a conversation like that. Okay. And then you're sharing things. I'm making notes here. I'm listening, and you talk about your grandkids or whatever. I love to make connections and just to hear what makes you click, to hear what makes you, okay, what are your goals? We've talked about your fears and your concerns. Well, what do you want to do? If everything was fine and you could wave a magic wand and you knew you had enough income, we're not talking about give me $10 million, but like if you knew that, okay, if I knew that I was going to be okay financially, that I was not going to run out of money, we reduce, what would you be passionate about? What do you want to do? Tell me about your grandkids. Do they live local? Do you want to, or have you traveled for work and you don't want to travel ever again?
Right.
Or are you just counting down the days to go travel kind of stuff, right? So we talk about all of that stuff, and then we get into the nitty gritty. And what do I want you to bring to the office? Well, gosh, I've had all kind of situations, Heather, where people have come in. I can think of one gentleman. He's 65 at the time. She was 62 from West Ashley, and he came in and he had a folder. Okay. And he opened it up, and I could see that he put some thought into this. He brought it in, but it was a manila folder, kind of thick, right? And so he opened it up, and he just started handing over these different things. He's like, okay, Brandon, I need to be honest here, and I'm really embarrassed about this. And he handed me, it's probably 10 different credit card bills.
Got it.
Okay. So he and his wife, they just had a lot of credit card debt. And he told me that he was just like, this has been the biggest issue in our marriage, in our relationship. We're still married. I still love her. He wasn't blaming her for all of this stuff, but he was like,
it is what it is. It's an issue. Yeah.
It is what it is. And he wisely was like, I know that we have got to address this, right?
Yep.
We've got some money saved, but all the income that's coming in, right, here's where it's going. And when I started to see that, I actually said, okay, I see the problem. I mean, I can tell the problem, but we're going to do this retirement plan later. In fact, what I want to do is I want to put together for you a step-by-step process that over this next year, you're going to be out of debt. How does that sound? And he was like, no way. No way. I was like, yeah. And so I went through and we started going and listing out the debt, the amount owed, the interest rate, and it was awful, right? Some of these almost 30% interest on some of these things.
Yeah.
And we went through and we listed those out, and I showed him, okay, we're going to pay minimum payments on all of these except for this first one. And we're going to tackle that, right? Yeah. Then once that's paid, do you see how much was going there? We're going to take all of that and go to the next one, right?
Yep.
And so I even followed up with him, every like 3 months. I was like, how's it going? And he's increasingly just more and more excited. Brandon, we actually knocked 2 out this last month. And now we're here. Right. Yes. Cause then it just gets that snowball, as Dave Ramsey talks about, that debt snowball, right, became bigger and bigger and is more and more powerful. Plus the debts were getting smaller.
Yep.
And so in fact, before that 1 year, they were out of debt. Okay.
Nice.
And then yes, it was so good.
Yeah.
I was like, he came in and I actually wish I had like a cake for him or something, just to celebrate that.
Yeah.
And so they came in and the next year and we're like, okay, now let's get back to this plan that you wanted. Right. And so then we looked at it. We said, okay, let's get this income plan laid out there. They had, like I said, really nice income. That was the great part there, is they had nice income. Now they could enjoy this income and not keep paying all those credit cards, right?
Yep.
So we showed them how to maximize that income. We reduced their risk in the stock market there, and then made sure that it was all tax efficient. Okay. And that was great for them. But you listening, you've got your own specific particulars with your retirement plan there. You've got a certain amount of income. You've got different accounts there that you've saved over the years. And so I want you to come in and have this first appointment with me. And trust me, I'm your biggest fan, right? There's nothing I love more than seeing my clients achieve everything they've wanted and knowing that they've got the plan in place. They've got the strategies there to where you don't have to worry about money in retirement, right? Yep. That's what I just want that to just roll off your back. You now have somebody in your corner. You've got me, you've got my team. You've got our plan, our strategies in place, and that allows you to be who you are, to be more and do the things that bring you excitement, whether that's volunteering or playing golf or traveling with your spouse or being with the kids and grandkids, whatever it is, right? Again, whatever we've talked about at that first meeting, I want to know what brings you excitement. And then if you have the proper plan in place, you can better achieve those goals. You can take care of yourself. You can exercise, all of these wonderful things. And it all starts with this first appointment. So if you're 55 or above and have, say, $500,000 or more, I want to have this first appointment conversation with you over the next 2 weeks. We have opened up 5 spots each week here for radio listeners. And I want to have this imperative conversation with you here. It's our first appointment process. So pick up the phone, call or text Tanya. She's standing by right now, 843-890-2400. You can text the words first appointment. I want to have my first appointment, Tanya. Let her know that. She will text you right back and we'll get you on the calendar. This usually only takes about 45 minutes for you to come in. We have this conversation. And what you can bring, here's some more things you can bring is just, whatever you save for retirement, whatever you've done. We've had people just bring in just statements, as many statements as you can find. Even if you're like, I don't know if he needs that, just grab it. Just grab it. Bring it all in. And I'll tell you, I don't need this. I do need this, whatever. Just bring in your stuff that you save for retirement. Mm-hmm. And we'll have this complimentary first appointment. So 843-890-2400.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.